Old school talk, R&B, and hip hop. WBMM online radio.
Yeah, you are now tuned into the truth with Jesus. Inspire, educate, and uplift. If you can't handle the truth, this ain't the show for you. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So sit back, relax, and buckle up and enjoy this ride.
All right, all right, all right. Welcome back to the show. You listen to the Truth with G on WPMM Internet Radio. I am your boy Gerald Graham, also known as G. Once again, we are back to talk about the issues that matter to you and your community. Hope all is well with everyone. Hope all is well. It is the 6 o'clock hour right here on Thursday. It's Friday Eve. We're headed toward the weekend. One more day. One more day. We'll be in the weekend. Hope you had a great week. Hope you had a great weekend. It wasn't Monday. I wasn't on. I was traveling this Monday, so I wasn't on this Monday. So it's good to be back. We're back in the studios today. So I want to thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. If you are joining me on WPMM webpage, you can also download that app. Download the app to listen to the show. You can also go to Google Play, download the app from the Google Play Store and the Apple Store. From the website, WPMMradio.com. You can listen from that website, or you can download the app from that website as well. Also, we are on YouTube. We are on just about every streaming platform that you can imagine. We are there. So just find us, WPMM Internet Radio. Also, we're on my YouTube page as well. Facebook, we are live on Facebook. You can go to WPMM Facebook page or my Facebook page to view the show if you'd like to look at my mug. But also, if you have anyone that don't know how to navigate the web, if you will, just text them WPMMradio.com. Just text that to them, and all they have to do is click on it, hit play, and they can listen to the show as well. So that's with that. Again, thank you so very much for joining me. I really do appreciate my listening audience. I have the greatest audience in the world. I tell everybody everywhere I go that I have the greatest listeners in the world. I have some ride or dies that is with me every night. I have some people that listen outwardly, and I have some closet listeners as well. And I do understand your position because I know I say stuff that normally get folks in trouble if they say it, but I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I'm gonna say what I got to say, and the only people that I piss off are the people that I'm telling the truth. And that's what this show is all about. The Truth with G right here on WPMM Internet Radio. We have a few people on Facebook already. If you're on Facebook, let me know you're out there. See Miss Rivers is out there. How you doing, Miss Rivers? Miss Betts, how you doing, Miss Betts? Good to see you on tonight. If you're on Facebook, let's go ahead and share. Let's go ahead and share. It's Topics Thursday. It is Topics Thursday. We are talking multiple topics tonight, and I listed a few of them on when I posted the flyer on a Facebook page, and we're going to talk about the Herschel Walker situation. We're talking about Trump situation. We're talking about Brittany Griner. We're talking about uh, stupid Republicans. Um, Also, we're going to touch on the Deion Sanders situation as well, because that situation is quite interesting. Can't understand why it's as interesting as it is, but it's been overpowering the news cycle lately. So we're going to discuss that as well. This December, this is December. This obviously is that we're in the holidays. We are deep in the holidays, and Christmas is just around the corner. I think today is the 8th, if my brain is calculating correctly. We only have a few more days before the Christmas holiday. And one thing I want to say about the Christmas holiday, we need to make sure that we keep in mind what is the reason for the season. Just keep in mind. And I'm glad I had kids that wasn't asking for the moon, if you will. But you got to keep in mind, unless you work for some company that give you extra money every Christmas or whatever the case may be, Most of us don't make anything extra when it comes to Christmas time. So don't, make sure your kids understand that. Don't the whole Santa Claus thing. I'm not going to get into that because I never believed in telling my kids that. Uh, Literally, and I'm not saying this to be racist or anything, but I just hesitated to tell my kids that a white man's going to come down the chimney and leave toys at my house. Um, we always, in my household, we always went by Daddy Claus and Mama Claus. That's who showed up on Christmas Eve to leave gifts. It was Daddy Claus and Mama Claus, and that's how I raised my kids. And I'm not telling you how to raise yours, but me personally, I just refuse to allow my children to believe that there was a white man coming down the chimney that we didn't have to leave toys. And but I said all that to say this: do not go in debt trying to uh, impress your kids or impress, making sure your kids are the talk of the neighborhood for what they got for Christmas. Don't go in debt trying to do that. Just make sure that I'm not saying not to get your kids anything for Christmas, but get them what you can, but don't go overboard. Don't spend your rent or your mortgage trying to buy Christmas gifts because January is coming. Right after the 25th, January is coming. And when that mortgage payment is due on the first, or when that rent payment is due, or that car payment is due, and you don't have it because you broke your neck trying to get the latest PlayStation or Xbox or the latest pair of Jordans, and you didn't have that extra, then you're gonna be looking crazy. And so that's just my advice to you. You can follow it or not. Again, I'm not trying to tell you how to raise your kids, but I don't want you sitting in January looking crazy. Um, because these bills are due and you spend everything on Christmas. So the reason for the season is to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, and we cannot forget that. But anyway, let's jump on into this show. The views and experiences expressed by individual radio hosts and guests are of their own and does not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of WPMM Radio. WPMM does not intend to malign with any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. That's just saying if you try to sue WPMM, you cannot sue them because these are my words and my words only. You can't sue me because I'm telling the truth. And if you do try to sue me, if you win anything, it's going to be that 17 cents I got in that jelly jar that I've been talking about for the last 2.5 years. You can have it. I need to get it off my nightstand anyway. So go ahead and try to sue me. Looks like, let's see who's joining. Miss Carson has joined us tonight as well. Good to see you again. If you're on Facebook, let's go ahead and share. Let's go ahead and talk about the topic of the day. What I woke up to this morning, and it's Miss Brittany Griner. Miss Brittany Griner, the WNBA star, was released from a Russian prison camp today. She should be. I'm not sure where she is right now because I wasn't able to get the update on where she is. Last update I saw that she was on a plane out of Russia. She has been freed, and that took place with a what they call a prisoner swap, and they swapped. Uh, they swapped for a arms dealer. He was convicted of, I guess, trafficking weapons, if you will, and they were trying to negotiate. The Biden administration was trying to negotiate the release of the other gentleman that had been there for a little length of time, but that did not work out. However, he did go ahead and facilitate the release of Brittany Griner, in spite of the fact that they have not released the other gentleman. And with that being said, we have mostly Republicans, mostly white people, to be honest with you, that are pushing back on the release of Brittany Griner. They are saying, I've been hearing a little bit. I've been trying not to pay much attention to the naysayers, if you will, because of they're quick to piss me off when they start talking that foolishness about her being released and this other man not being released. And the information on the other gentleman, and I'm gonna have his name here in a minute, that's being discussed. That particular gentleman has citizenship in 3 different countries, from my understanding. I think he was born in Canada. He has a Canadian citizenship, U.S. citizenship, and he has another one. But with that being said, that gentleman is a different situation. The Russians are treating him different. The negotiations that was going on with the Biden administration and Russia did include him. However, they would not go for the release of that particular individual. But once again, we have right-wing Republicans, white people, racist people who are saying negative things about Britney's release. And I guarantee you, if it was someone being released, such as a Tucker Carlson or one of these Fox News cronies, or Rush Limbaugh, or if it had been somebody like that, these same people that are crucifying Brittany Griner for being released, they wouldn't say a word about people like that if it was those people. So I've been purposely trying not to read the comments or look at the negative comments, because again, it pisses me off when we have dumbasses and racist people that will bring a good situation down just because of the color of someone's skin. And those are the people who I just despise. I can't say I hate anyone, but those are the people that if I saw them on the side of the road on fire, I wouldn't piss on them and put them out. So, but I can't hate him. I don't know if you want to call that hate or not, but I refuse to use good urine to put out a racist white person. Did I just say that out loud? I think I. But anyway, she has been released. She has been locked up over there in Russia since February 17th, where she was traveling over there to play basketball. Because obviously one of the reasons why people are blocking those WNBA players are going to Russia and other countries is because of the salary. They can make 5 times the money that they make here in the United States by just simply going overseas, whether it's Russia or any other country, to play. And that's what she was in the midst of doing when that took place. Let's see, Miss Rivers. Thank you, Miss Rivers, for that information. She said she was sent to a hospital in San Antonio to be assessed. So she is on U.S. soil, according to my source there, Ms. Rivers, and I appreciate you putting that information out there, because again, I wasn't able to excuse me, I wasn't able to get that information before I came on the air tonight. By the way, people, I do work a full-time job during the daytime. This is not the only thing that I do. If I was a full-time radio host, I would have time to get all my information together, and I'm my own producer. I'm my own. I'm a lighting person. I'm a camera person. My engineer. I do all that. So to come on and do the show on a regular basis with just me, challenge sometime, and trying to do that with a full-time job, I do the best I can. So I apologize if I don't have all the information, but I have enough to inform people as far as what's going on, and I appreciate you listening. Once again, if you're listening on Facebook, go ahead and share. Go ahead and share. It's Topics Thursday. We're talking about the topics we just talked about. Brittany Griner. However, if you do want to get in on the show, we 850-221-0396. is the number to call if you want to get in on any of these topics on the show, 850-221-0396. Looks like we have Miss Barbara Tyson has joined the show tonight. How you doing, Miss Barbara? Good to see you on. Miss Barbara, we got to get together. I promise. I'm going to apologize because I have been so wrapped up lately. I got a lot going on in my circle, and I know we have talked about some things, but I tell you, time is so limited, if you will. But we definitely need to talk, especially myself and you and Mr. Parker. We need to get it together here so we can start making some moves. Let's see, Miss Betts has commented. Ms. Betts has commented. She said the Republicans are going to be the great destroyers of America. God is not the author of the confusion. So they all say that we are going to heaven. Sadly mistaken. Never knew you would you with all that hate in your heart. Okay, Miss Barbara, we definitely will. I will definitely get with you and first of the year we'll get together. Got a holidays are hectic. That just adds to the confusion, if you will, a lot of times. And got a couple other people I need to apologize to because I have said some things, and I hate to say things that I cannot follow through with and back up. But I tell you, time is so precious. So let's move on. The other thing that happened this week, it was election day in Georgia on Tuesday, where Warnock, Senator Warnock, the Reverend Senator Warnock, was in a runoff with the idiot number 2, Herschel Walker. And it was an interesting night. It was an interesting election night. And I sat and watched the returns. And I kept getting pissed off. I kept getting irritated because as you watch the numbers come in, it started out where there was a huge lead for Warnock because they were counting the early votes, and it looks like that Black people and Democrats, if you will, are taking heed to early voting and are participating in early voting because they had a good early vote turnout. And once they tabulated the numbers for that, Warnock had a tremendous lead at that point. And then as you continue to watch the returns come in, that lead dwindled. And then at some point, Herschel Walker took the lead as the votes started coming in. Right around when they got about to 40%, 50% of the vote, Herschel Walker took the lead, and then it started going back and forth. And I was so irritated. I was so upset. I was surprised, but not surprised, because I know we have some idiots in this world. It's hard to believe that we have that many stupid people in this world. And I refer to them as stupid. And I was told by one of my actually he was a ex-classmate. He told me that I shouldn't talk negative about people just because they're Republican or whatever. And it's not that you're Republican. If you're stupid, you're stupid. I don't know how else to describe it other than using the word stupid or ignorant or dumb or racist. I have to call it what it is. And with the people, there's 1.7 plus million people in the state of Georgia that I would put in the classification of stupid. Because they voted for someone, I don't care what color Herschel Walker is, as far as this goes. You voted someone who was ill-equipped, who wasn't in a position to be a U.S. senator, did not have the intellect, did not have the knowledge, did not have any experience as far as government goes, could not articulate a platform, could not articulate any type of legislation that he would propose if he became senator or any type of policies he would push. He could not do any of that. He couldn't put a sentence together. And you have people that 1.7 million people that voted for stupidity. That's what bothers me so much. And I apologize. I'm missing a couple of comments. I missed a couple of comments. Let's see, Miss Lorraine Black is listening. She said glad she was. We were talking about Brittany Griner earlier. She said glad she's on her way home, and she said glad she's home. Appreciate the comment. Glad. Also, let's see, Miss Bet says so glad they didn't elect that clown. And he said yes, they are stupid. And she said, and she's making reference to the Republicans wanted two black men to go against each other. And that seemed like what they did. They went and found the dumbest black person that they could find to put up against Warnock because they knew that the base would vote for a do boy, a yes person, and I would go as far as calling him a house slave, if you will, because that is what he displayed. He displayed the attributes of a house slave, to where that house slave would conform to anything that his master tells him to do, so that he can continue to be in the house and to get the privileges, the extra privileges that house slaves get, that the people that the slaves out in the field did not have access to. And that's what he displayed. That's what I saw. That's what I heard. And they found probably the one black person who is, I know we got some others out there that's stupid, but they found the one that they really found the stupid. And 1.7 million people, 1.7 million. Just think about that. Voted for this kid. There was a time in politics where Herschel Walker would have been not even thought about to be in a election, a senatorial election. There was a time in our government where someone of his caliber would have been given a thought. And we have fast forwarded to a point to where not only that it was given a thought, had a legitimate chance at winning, because we have stupid people in the United States. We have stupid and racist people in the United States. We have people who are only concerned with power, maintaining or taking over power, control, and racism. And that's what we should be talking about. That's what should be the discussion. It shouldn't be really, even though Walker is the center point, Herschel Walker is the center point, it should really be, we should really be concentrating and talking about the fact that 1.7 million people thought that he was a viable candidate for the United States Senate. Those people voted for him. We need to be looking into the reasons as to that vote. And I've been watching a lot of I've been watching interviews that and it's usually on a comedy skit, if you will, on a comedy station, where they go out and interview these MAGA people, these Trump supporters, these Herschel Walker supporters. They go out and interview these people, and it comes out like a a Saturday Night Live skit. They interview these people because the answers that they give when they ask about their support of Herschel Walker, or even when they ask about their support for someone like Donald Trump or whatever the case may be, the answers they give are so asinine. They are so uh, ignorant to where I have to believe that the majority of the people that voted are not just racist, they're racist and they're stupid. But it's scary. It's scary that we have 1.7 million people in just one state, in the state of Georgia, that voted for someone like Herschel Walker. Um, and then on Tuesday night, the question was, will Herschel Walker give a concession speech? That was like the news of the night. Concession speech. At one point in time in the United States of America, a concession speech was something that was automatic. It wasn't something that had to guess at. It wasn't something that even, you know, made a big deal over news on the news stations and whatnot. It was part of the protocol, part of the process. It was part of the transition out. Ever since we have had Trump in office, all that has went away, and it's like a huge news story where when one of these Republicans lose, will they give a concession speech, or will they challenge the vote, or will they say like their 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 master Trump, is rigged, is voter fraud and all this crap. So we don't even have a peaceful transfer of power in our government anymore. And the main topic is just a freaking concession speech, and that used to be so routine, and it's not anymore. But that's the deal in Georgia. We're thankful that Warnock won, and I'm not even saying that because Warnock is a Democrat. It's because Warnock has common damn sense. He's educated. He can articulate. He can put a sentence together. He can put a thought with a sentence, and that's something that Herschel Walker did not have the mentality to do. And therefore, I'd rather have a thinking person in our Senate versus having a fumbling idiot sitting in our Senate. So once again, if you just joined me, as Topics Thursday, we're talking multiple topics on tonight. We've covered Brittany Griner. We're also covered Herschel Walker's situation. Let's go to Trump before we go to Dion. I want to go to Dion Sanders' situation as well. But just to update you guys on what's going on with Trump, I'm off the top of my head on this information, but a couple things happened this week in Trump's world. One, his organization, Trump organization, was found guilty of all kind of financial crimes, tax crimes, fraud. I think there were 8 different counts that they were found guilty on. And the funny part of that is that the Trump organization was found guilty. And it still amazes me how they're tiptoeing around finding Trump guilty or indicting Trump for something himself. Um, but I'm still trying to understand, and somebody may have a better legal mind than I do. And if you do, hit me up, 850-221-0396. If you have a better legal mind than I do, and you want to help me understand this, situation here. How can you find a organization guilty and not find the owner or the CEO of the organization to be culpable and to be guilty as well? Like I said, I need someone with a legal mind to explain this for you. So 850-221-0396, or if you're on Facebook, drop it in the comments. Drop an explanation in the comments, because when I seen that when they first announced that the Trump organization was found guilty, I was all giddy. I almost jumped up out the seat, because like, we have a guilty verdict with the name Trump attached to it. However, then they went on to talk more about it. I turned the TV on and went on to listen to see what it was all about, and that's when I found out that it was the Trump organization that was found guilty. But if you find the organization guilty, once you go to the sentencing phase of the due process, if you will, who do you hold accountable? Is it excuse me? Do you sanction the business? Do you shut them down? Again, I need a legal mind to help me. And I wish I had something here to help me understand. I really don't at this point. But that's the situation. The Trump organization found guilty. I'll be posting and to update it with further information on that. Will in the coming days. We'll see what happens over the next few days, over the weekend, Monday. Also in Trump world, the January 6th committee did announce that they were filing a criminal referral. Second thing. But they will be submitting a criminal referral to the Department of Justice in regards to the January 6th and the situation there in Lago with the for the January 6th committee, and also the Mar-a-Lago document situation. Well, so, but even with that, again, we still tiptoeing around. We won't just come out and say, we're going to prosecute Trump. They're still tiptoeing around because they hadn't said who these criminals include. They hadn't said that it's going to be Trump. They hadn't said anything. But if you're going to put that much information out there and say that you will be criminal referrals, why can't you say these referrals will be going against, if you will? Dancing around. That's what we've been doing for 6 years. For 6 years, we've been dancing around prosecuting Donald Trump. And this man has had every privilege in the world, more privilege than anybody will ever see. If I did just one of the things that he has done, just one. And keep in mind, this man has 30 plus criminal and civil cases that are, or investigations that are going on as we speak. Now, if I did just one of those things, just one, I would be locked up right as we speak. I would not be sitting here talking to you today. I would be locked up. And I'll be keeping you abreast on that situation, keep you informed on that. Let's move on. Deion Sanders, Coach Prime time. He is, everybody been talking about Coach Prime. As Coach Prime decided that he was going to leave Jackson State University and go on to continue his college coaching career at the University of Colorado. Now, Colorado Buffalo. He's the head coach there. He was named earlier this week, and it's been so much talk about this move. I don't understand why there's so much talk about this move. I can understand there's talking points as far as what could happen going forward, with the HBCU situation, whatever case may be. But it's like people have put all of that on the shoulders of Deion Sanders. as if he is the only person that has anything to do with HBCU. Deion Sanders came to Jackson State. You got to keep in mind that Jackson State is in Jackson, Mississippi. I've never been there, but I've heard about it. You're talking Deion Sanders, talking prime time, talking NFL uh, superstar. You're talking sports commentator. You're talking uh, of a person that's lived in the limelight. It's flashy. He wears the jewelry. He wears the suits. He wears the, you know, he does all that. And for him to even commit to go to Jackson State to make a difference in the beginning was a awesome task in my mind, in my opinion. Um, I never believed. I never believed from the time that Deion got to Jackson State that he was going to stay there. I always believed that Deion was going to go there. He was going to do all that he can to turn that program around, and he was going to be out. Whether he was going to be out from coaching completely, or he was going to move on to a better situation. Jackson, Mississippi is not a tourist attraction. It's not a tourist city. Um, it's nothing to do there. Uh, and I'm not putting down. It may sound like I'm putting down Jackson, Mississippi, but Jackson, Mississippi got a problem. You got the water situation. I understand that at some point the players and whatnot would take a bath in the swimming pool. I mean, it was just all kind of craziness going on up there. It wasn't being fed properly. They wasn't. All these things were going on in Jackson, Mississippi. So I never thought Deion would stay there. I thought he would go there and do what he had to do and move on. However, we have all these critics who are saying that that Deion sold out to the HBCU. Deion, he did the kids wrong. He did this. He did that. My thing is, every single year at the college level, at the pro level, every single year, whether it's in season or at the end of season, head coaches lose their job. Head coaches change jobs or change schools or pro teams or whatever the case may be. It happens all the time. And it hasn't been a situation where this much attention has been given to any coaching move that I can remember. I don't remember any coaching move getting this much attention. Even Saban going to Alabama or Jimbo going to Texas A&M or whatever. It wasn't, even Notre Dame coach going down to LSU, whatever the case may be. Those were big stories, but they didn't reach. They didn't nowhere reach the caliber of this Deion Sanders situation. Miss Arena has joined us. How you doing, Miss Arena? Good to see you on tonight. But people lost their mind over this situation with Deion. And for all the people who are condemning Deion for doing what he did, I put a post out there and I posted on my Facebook the other day. I said, if you are making $5 an hour and somebody at it offered you $500 an hour to change your job, your ass would be gone too. There's no doubt in my mind. Even if you didn't like the job, you'd be gone. If you offer that kind. Deion Sanders was making $500,000 a year coaching Jackson State University. Most of that salary he gave to improve the facility. He gave almost half his salary to improve the locker rooms there at Jackson State. He gave some of his salary to get those kids a practice field. They were practicing on garbage, if you will. I use that term. He did a lot for Jackson State University. And when it was time for him to move on, he should be able to move on and given the same respect that all these other coaches that have done, that they have given them. They're not dogging those other coaches. So why are you dogging Deion Sanders? Especially us people, especially black people. Why are we condemning this man for upward mobility? Why are we condemning this man for taking a promotion? Why are we condemning this man from going from $500,000 a year to making $5 million a year? Why are we condemning this man for being a Power 5 coach that can actually, I'm gonna say compete with other coaches, but in salary wise, can be thrown in the pot, and you could kind of see that things are becoming somewhat level on the playing field when it comes to these coaches' salaries. Deion is making more than a lot of these white coaches at these Power 5s. You know, he's not up there with Saban. I think Saban's making about $9 million a year. I think Jimbo over there at Texas A&M making $9-10 million a year. But for him to get a job making $5 million a year, go to a Power 5 conference as a black man who has been in college coaching for less than 3 seasons, I think that's a wonderful feat that we should be celebrating. But the honest truth that we as black people, we tend to condemn those who making progress because their progress don't satisfy or add up to your expectations of what somebody else should do. Now, and let me ask you this question: in your lifetime, have you bowed down to somebody and say, "I'm not going to do something to better myself because they think that you shouldn't do it"? If you did, you might be. I don't want to use the word, but may not be as smart. So let's leave Deion alone. Let's leave Deion alone. Like we got a caller. I'm about to end the show. We got a caller coming in. Let's see. Yeah, who I have on the phone with him tonight? You're coming in.
Yeah.
Coming in kind of like.
Yeah, G, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
Yeah, I'm on the speaker. How's everything been, man?
So what now?
Everything's been with
It's been good. It's been good. I was coming up to the end of the show because I'm headed to see
real
my
quick.
godson.
Yeah, I was on at an NAACP meeting tonight. Real quick. I just want to give my little 2 cents on Deion Sanders here.
Okay.
You know, it's the catch-22. It's a double-edged sword. You know, we get somebody special in HBCUs, and they do right by program, and we with us. You know, because hey, that's that's ours. You know, we want to keep it close to the best. You know, but when you live in a city like Jackson, Mississippi, and I don't know anybody been in Jackson, Mississippi, but it ain't much Jackson, Mississippi, honestly. You
Right.
know, you have water. You call up your broken into kind of you know, um, and you know, that's a lot of reasons to and the infrastructure not that great in the West, you know, so that's a lot of reasons to leave, you know. But I was also looking at it this way too. It seemed like anytime white people mess up, they always get black people to clean up their mess. Colorado hadn't had a good team in over 20 years, and you know now here we got to go and black man got to come in and clean this program up. I just pray that his message will resonate with those kids, um, and I just hope they will adopt this program because I look at the way they did your boy at Florida State, Tigers, how long did they at Florida State? I think you and I talked about this,
Right.
you know, and then the coach at when the black coach went to Spain, I just hope they give him a chance to get his program implemented, and I hope these boys work with him. And I'm glad to get this money.
Well,
nothing wrong with that,
well, here's
you
real quick. Here's what I think is going to happen. With Deion, they won't have a choice but to give him his just due in regard to turning that program around. Deion will not be fired.
Oh no, well,
He will
I
not.
hope not.
He will not be fired because he's Deion. However, if it was somebody else other than Deion, yeah. But Deion is too high profile. He's bringing too much attention to that school right now. Regardless of what happens, I guarantee you that even yourself and I going to sit and watch the Colorado Buffaloes play football next year.
We probably will. You're right.
And I guarantee you that the Colorado Buffaloes have had 2 winning seasons over the past 20 years. I guarantee you, regardless win, lose, or draw, the stands will be the tickets will sell out for those games. Every game will be televised, and people like you and me gonna sit down and watch Colorado play.
Yeah, right. Yeah, probably right.
So with that being said, Deion is going to be able to dictate his own fate for a long time. I don't see him being a Willie Taggart, giving a season and a half and then fired, before you get on the bus after your last loss. I don't see that happening with Deion. That's not going to happen. But we have to. It's hard to expect someone. We should not expect someone. I know it's an HBCU and we should uplift and try to uplift these HBCUs, but it's hard to get somebody, like I said, you're making $5 an hour and somebody offer you $500 an hour. You'll be a fool not to take
it. Yeah, that's a lot of money to turn down.
Yeah. And regardless of principles and history and this, that, and other, you'll be a fool not to take that kind of money.
That's true. He said I had a friend of mine wrote on my Facebook page, the same people that managed Deion Sanders for taking that money in Colorado are the same people that sell their grandmama house.
Right. So, but yeah, Mr. John, that's the situation. That's the situation. I appreciate you calling. I'm about to scat up out of here because I got to go check out my grandson, and not my grandson, my godson tonight. So we're gonna head on to him. But I appreciate you calling. I'll be back on Monday night. I still got topics I gotta talk about on Monday night. So hit me up over the weekend. Let me know if you'll be in town Monday.
All right, shout out to Brittany Griner. She's finally home. Thank the Lord.
Yeah, we talked. That was the number one topic tonight when we first started.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I was on a conference call.
All right.
All right, man. Well, I played on.
All right, Mr. John. Appreciate you.
Yep. All right.
All right. All right. Thank you, guys. tuning in tonight. We're gonna go ahead and get up out of here again. I gotta go check out the Godson tonight. He is trying to elevate his situation, if you will. He's trying to work his way into the college ranks, so I have to go support him. So we're gonna cut the show a few minutes short so I can get on up the road and check him out. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I will be back on Monday night, 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on The Truth with G. So join me then. The weekend is coming up. You guys have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Take care of yourselves. COVID is still out there. We have the flu going around. So take care of yourself, people. Don't get caught up. Don't get sick, because the holidays is the worst time to be sick. So. But you all be blessed. Y'all be safe. And we are out of here.
Old school talk, R&B, and hip hop. WPMN.